video, I'm gonna tell you how to polish your paint. For the first time, you're gonna spend at least $400 on your polisher.
This is Nick, I'm Ivan, and this is DIY Detail. And we're DIY Detail, meaning we're not gonna be using a $400 polisher.
What?
Yeah.
I thought that's what the pros do.
It is what the pros do, but we're gonna make it so it's easy, it's simple, it's efficient, and affordable.
All right, so you're gonna save me some money here?
We're gonna save everyone some money and some time. And what we're gonna be using to polish is this, a random orbital sander.
I'm playing a little dumb here. I know what's going on.
Yeah.
We're just trying to really emphasize the fact that you, out there, if you've never polished your paint before, you're new to this, you don't need this. I've been telling them about the dual action sander while I put this heavy beast away.
So the dual action sander or the random orbital sander, and you probably have one in your garage or your basement as we speak. Basically, it rotates and it oscillates. It has a 5mm oscillation, which is more than enough. There's a lot of different brands out there. Nick's got one in his hands, I've got another one. This will do the job that you need. Now we're gonna be using the gold standard system. So at DIY Detail, we like to make things easy. We have a system for polishing. And that gold standard means our waffle pad, and it's gold in color, amazingly enough, and our polish. Now our polish, we don't have a label for yet, so it's in a nondescript bottle.
It's really, really hard to overstate this. A waffle pad keeps the paint cool, and if you're new to polishing paint, cool paint is your friend.
Exactly. The cooler the paint is, the better it is. You're actually gonna get more cut from a cool paint than you are from a hot paint. We talk about paint, but we're actually polishing clear coat. And clear coat is basically plastic. And if you heat that plastic up, it gets soft. And when it gets soft, instead of removing it or polishing it and making it look better, you're actually softening it, and your abrasives, instead of cutting the surface, are now grabbing and rolling. So your abrasive becomes useless. Think of it as a marshmallow and an ice cube. You take a piece of sandpaper to an ice cube, you're gonna cut that ice cube. Take a piece of sandpaper to a marshmallow, you're just gonna get a gooey mess.
What we've done, and we're gonna put a playlist up above, we've washed this car properly. We've clayed it. We've panel prepped it.
Right.
It is ready for us to polish. So if you don't feel comfortable with that step, we're gonna give you that up above.
Right.
What should my mindset be? I've got a pad on my polisher, I've got the gold standard, and now I'm wondering, what do I do?
We're gonna be polishing the paint, and you wanna break the vehicle into small sections. So we're gonna be starting with the hood, then a fender, then a door. This is convertible, we don't have to worry about the top. But we're gonna be doing it section by section, small sections, manageable sections, and wiping it off as we go. So we can inspect, we can look, we're happy. And we're not going for paint perfection. This vehicle is 10 years old. It gets towed behind a bus most of its life. So as you can see, these are the swirls. Instead of having a nice glossy surface, we have all these little random lines that make it so that you don't see a blinding reflection. And that's what we're after. The polishing is a deep cleaning. We're preparing the surface for the ceramic coating. And
Which will be a separate video.
A separate video in this whole series. But you don't need to polish your paint before putting ceramic coating on. You only need a clean surface. So at this point, we could apply the ceramic coating.
We've washed, we've clayed, which is to remove
Contamination.
embedded contaminants from the pores of the clear coat. So the clear coat's gonna be receptive to a product like our ceramic coating or ceramic gloss.
Exactly.
But this is going to clean that paint even better.
It's gonna clean it, and we're gonna give it a bit of gloss.
Which is what we're after.
We have a bit of a hazing to the paint. And that's from scratching, that's from 10 years of life.
What should a realistic expectation be for the DIYer?
A realistic expectation is to make it better. We're not going for perfection. We're gonna gloss it, we're gonna make it look good, we're gonna get rid of 80–90% of these swirls. The deeper scratches we're not going after, and we shouldn't go after. Because every time you go after a scratch to remove that scratch, you're actually removing all the paint around that scratch or the clear coat. You're damaging your vehicle.
Unless it is absolutely driving you crazy, my suggestion is this. Look yourself in the mirror and say, does anybody else see this, or is it just me? And if it's just you, that's your own journey to navigate. Your car, do what you want. But if from 5 or 10 feet away, nobody else has seen this besides you,
no.
Trust me, it is not worth going after.
Right.
Because you don't know what kind of detail you're gonna get, if they have experience or not, if they, for some way, burn through your clear coat
right.
trying to sand out that scratch. That's thousands of dollars for a repaint. It's just, glossing up your paint like we're going to show you how to do today
Right.
is by far the easiest thing
Yeah.
that you can do more than just once. You sand that car down, you really don't have much clear coat
No,
left. You
so-
could do this method once a year.
Exactly. Preservation over perfection.
Okay, I get enthusiastic. Let's talk about polishing paint. All right, where do we start, Ivan?
Well, we're going to start by making sure our pad is clean, our pad is ready to go, and we're going to be putting the polish on the pad. Now, we have a different way of applying the polish as well.
It's a spray polish.
Right. Let's find the bottle first. As you'll notice, we have a rather makeshift label. We don't have the labels yet, and well, this is a prototype. So this actually is the final formula, but we're letting it go through testing before releasing it. And that testing is for separation, it's for color fastness, it's for all these things, and that takes time. But by the time you see this, it may be available on our website. So look for the gold standard. Now, applying it to your polishing pad. Most polishes come in bottles, and those bottles have a little push tab or something, and you put 3 or 4 drops on your pad. Those 3 or 4 drops on your pad, yes, they work, but you only have 3 or 4 spots on your pad that are actually doing the work. We have it in a spray form, and that spray form does a couple things for us. First of all, it's metering. If I tell you to put 3 or 4 drops on your pad, how big are the drops?
They're pea-sized drops.
Yeah. Some people like grapes, some people like grapefruit.
Golf balls?
Yeah, golf balls.
Yeah.
For us, one pull of the trigger is one application.
And
that's
for
it.
those of you who may not know Ivan, he swears by this. It's not one shot on the pad and then the camera goes off and then 2 more. One spray on the pad. This is like
That's all you
the
need.
thing that you have been preaching to detailers
Yeah.
since I've been a detailer.
Right. It's all you need. And to apply it, very simple. We'll rev up the machine a little bit as it's slowing down. And now we have good coverage over the whole pad. We're ready to polish. We're ready to make this car look good. Now, you'll notice we've got black rubber here. We've got piano black trim, and we have the clear coat. This is a great place to show you everything that this can do in one little area. So we're going to start here. So as you can see, we're polishing the paint. We're moving slowly. I've got no pressure whatsoever on the machine. And now I'll go over the trim, the piano black trim. We're getting all of it done at once. We can even do the mirror if we want to. Once we're done polishing the section that we want to polish, we need to wipe off the polish residue. And we don't want to use a dry towel to wipe off the polish residue. So this one is dunked in our rinseless solution and wrung out.
And if folks haven't seen any of our videos, 1 ounce of the rinseless wash solution in 2 gallons of water. We used it to wash the car, and now we can use it for so many other things, including wiping down the panel after polishing.
Exactly. And already we can see a difference in this A-pillar.
It looks red,
Exactly.
as opposed to sort of a hazy.
It's not looking pink anymore. And look, I can comb my hair, but no, if I had hair. Here we have it polished, and you can see it's a hazy surface, sort of pinkish looking. And here where we have polished, we have a nice red, bright red surface. It's a marked difference. We didn't spend a lot of time on this. We didn't put a lot of effort into it. And we've basically eliminated 80, 90% of the swirls.
Should we get to it?
Yep. Speed is another thing. You don't want to be doing this. The faster you move the machine, the slower you're working. So we want to have a nice, even pace, moving along, not too quickly, no pressure on the machine, you're just guiding the machine.
Ivan, I'm looking at this section I just polished, and
Right.
we'll do a 50-50 close-up shot, but this is just the perfect amount of gloss that the DIYer can try to get out of their paint.
Exactly. We're not removing a lot of paint. We're not spending a lot of time. We're not damaging the paint. We're just cleaning it and glossing it up.
It's shiny, it's gonna get protection at the end, and it's safe.